so floral design, part 3, the basics. Today we're going to be learning about making a corsage, a wrist corsage, and a boutonnière. So to start off, we're going to learn how to make the bow, and then I'll go over the design aspect. The bows can be a little tricky at first, so if you don't get it right away, like I did make you guys bows if you decided to go out that way. But you're more than welcome to take that ribbon home. I can give you some extra if you want to practice at home too. So making a bow, you want to first pinch, leave a little bit of a tail. First pinch, then you go up. So you take this up, bring it down, and then you twist. Okay? And we're going to make 6 loops. So now you go below, you go up or down, and up, twist, up, down.
So it's like on this, it's got, you'll always try to keep the shiny side out? Or does that make a difference?
Yeah, is that why we're
Yes.
twisting?
Yeah.
Okay. Those ribbons that they do for like, what do you call it?
Like a Christmas tree.
No, I'm thinking, when they wear for like awareness type stuff, when they just go like this.
Sort of. Yeah, it's
Unless
you're
I'm doing it
definitely
wrong.
you're twisting the middle part. And you go, I'll show you again. So you go up and down. This is really tricky. For me, I know it took me like a couple of days to get it down. You twist.
Oh.
Up.
Oh. I'm not doing that at all.
I'm not either.
There's different ways to make bows too. Like a lot of people do it differently.
Is there any way you can come closer? Because I can't really
definitely.
see that far.
Okay.
Sorry. So
that's
I
okay.
clearly did it all wrong.
Oh, no, let's start.
That's what I did.
Yeah, see, I told you it's
I
gonna
couldn't
take you
see
a little
from
while.
that far.
Okay, so you go up, down, and twist. Then you go, it's like, they always say you go up, but to me it makes sense if you go down.
Do I twist the
up,
whole
and
thing?
twist.
Is it like a 180-degree turn?
Or do I only twist the top ribbon, or do I twist the bottom ribbon too?
So you just twist, like you pinch it,
Yeah.
and then you, like
Twist
the
this
longer,
one, the
yeah.
long one.
Yes.
Okay.
You twist that, go down and up.
Oh, dear. I'll definitely have to
And then I
practice
hold the
that.
twist, is that where I pinch
Yep.
it?
Should be clumsy.
It's hard, I know it's really hard.
Oh.
Yep. Okay, so you want to pinch like that, and then you go up, pinch, twist, go up. Oh, sorry, I went the wrong way. Okay, go pinch, up, twist.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a practice for me, man.
Yes. Like I said, it took me like about a couple days to get it down. Go up.
Makes me feel better to a couple of days now.
And there's other YouTube videos too that they might have like a little thicker of a ribbon, and that can be a little bit easier, but then you twist it like this. Yeah, see, I know I gave you a little bit of a shorter ribbon.
Interesting. Definitely a practicer. I never thought to look on YouTube either.
Yes. Perfect. What then I would do is you would gonna want to take, did you twist this as you went?
Yeah.
You did, okay. So then I would go like in the middle. So that's how long you want it.
So it should
this
be
is
half
two-
of that. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
You can, if you do have like a ribbon that has, that is more like this purple one where it has that rough side, you can hide it a little bit. There's a lot of little tricks and secrets to that. Just like that. And you can actually take this apart.
Are they, mine are,
Take apart the ribbon.
Oh, I didn't realize there's two.
Yeah.
Take
So
the
you
tape
fold it
off.
flat in 2 ways, going this way on the band. And I always use the plastic part because it holds the whole base of your flowers. Some people like to do it the other way around, but to me it makes sense to do it with the plastic way around, just so you guys know. So we're gonna put a little glue. And this comes out pretty fast. So now you're gonna wanna place this right there. So go ahead and place that there.
I that angle, correct? It's not.
Yep, perfect. And then you're going to want to, comes out so fast, tie these two over there and double knot it. So now with you, like I was saying to her, you're going to want to have the strings going out this way.
Oh, like perpendicular to
Yes.
the thing? Okay.
Yep. And then you're going to want to, I'll put a little bit of glue on there.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so stringy.
And then put this on like this.
Yep. And then you double knot the ribbon. Okay, now as you're waiting for me, pick out a couple of bigger on the ivy plant there. So there's a shared plant, yep. And pick out a couple of the nicer, bigger leaves off of that. Just a
I don't
couple.
want any stem.
You don't need a stem. And you can just pick it off with your fingers
Oh,
too. You don't need to use
sorry.
these clippers. No, you can use the clippers if you want, but it's not.
So no stem at all, cut it right to the leaf?
Yep. And you can cut this, the white string pretty short now.
We don't need that anymore, right?
Right. So I would say this size is the perfect size. So it looks like you guys got that. So now we're going to be making 4 leaves on the band. So as you can see, there's 4 points here. So on your band, you're going to have 2 of your nicest leaves coming out and 2 of your nicest leaves on this side and
Oh,
under the
4
ribbon.
leaves.
Under
Yep,
the ribbon.
4 leaves under the ribbon.
So we dip it in this glue that's here?
What was that?
Do we dip it in this
In the glue. Yep.
Just drying already.
Is it supposed to go under the ribbon or over the ribbon?
So for the middle, you can go either under or over, that's okay.
Okay.
But on this side, you want to put one right here underneath the
Under,
ribbon.
okay.
Yep.
Isn't super glue.
Yeah, it kind of dries up fast too. So if yours is not sticking
Are we
on the
trying to
leaves-
stick it to that white, the clear plastic square?
Yes. Yep. It's okay if you don't because you don't see it, you know.
Mhm.
About 5 of the bigger spray rosebuds. If you see a spray rose bud that is really blooming, you're going to want that to be on your top. So just keep that in mind. So it's like about this big.
And how much stem on this do we keep? Or just as little as
So
possible?
like you can keep about like this much, or you can keep like right down. I like to cut it even a little bit more sometimes.
Okay.
And so then the pattern that you'll want to go for is you're going to do the diamond here, and that'll be kind of like what we did with the leaves. You're going to want to have about like 5 coming out this way. 5 or 4, doesn't matter.
And then how do you place that on top of this white ribbon or not?
Yep. And so when you place that flower, which will be the first one, you're going to want to make sure that you cut the bud right so it's flat instead of having that little stem come out.
Okay.
And then hold it on there too, because it takes a little while for it to stick.
Okay.
Yeah, underneath the ribbon. So kind of like what you did with the leaves.
Okay.
I
Did I
always
cut,
do.
no, did I need
that's,
longer
that's
stem?
fine. No, that's fine. So I'll say this is your
That'll be the
biggest
middle,
one.
yeah.
So what you're going to want to do is cut it flat,
Okay,
and that'll help it stick a little bit more.
okay. And then these are gonna go under?
Yeah, and then when you're placing your flowers too, it's okay to really put the glue on and then hold it for like about like 5 to 10 seconds. That'll just make it really stick. Yeah, I know. I loved it when people brought in like different fun stuff like your peacock feathers, or sometimes people will be like, "Can you put this jewel in here?" That's always fun because it's just different, you know.
More personalized.
More personalized, because everyone has kind of like the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also like it.
Peacocks, so I thought, I'll bring them
Oh, you
and see
do?
if we can use them.
Yeah. I also like it when people kind of mess with different colors. So like if you do like, let's say like pink and orange or something like that, and then you have like some sort of sheer silver or something, that always looks so cool. All depends on what dress they're wearing and.
Mhm.
But when in doubt, you can't go wrong with white. So if they have like a busy flowery dress, a lot of times I'll say you can either do like a solid pink or you could do like all white.
Or if your son says, her dress is blue,
Oh.
there's a million shades of blue.
Yep.
So we went with white, turns out she wore pink and black.
Wow.
It still looks good. You can't go wrong with
Good thing we
white.
didn't get
I love
blue.
that. That's so, yeah.
That
a
was
lot
his
of high school
freshman
boys are
year
like
though,
that.
so you know, cut him a little slack.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of boys are like that, so he's not the only one. I remember that from my days taking these orders. They'll be like, oh, it's blue. And then we'll say, what kind of blue? Is it like periwinkle? Is
Right.
it baby blue? Is it royal blue? Because it's a big difference if you don't know.
Mine looks not so good. What happened? Maybe it needs a peacock feather.
Yeah.
We should have done these underneath, huh?
Or you can still squeeze it in. Yeah, I think it's just like the ribbon is getting, maybe the ribbon was just a little too small. So like usually I would go like, kind of twist it around. And you can actually take these out
Oh,
too.
and just restart.
Yep. Here, you need a little bit of
Yeah, it dries so fast.
It does, yep.
I'll bother you for more too, please.
For some more too. One, kind of like what we were talking in the last class, you would have either like an X, so you would have one falling on the other side, or you can go in this way, falling on the other side, with your next 2 flowers.
Oh, I'm putting more flowers on?
Yeah. Like this, like right up here, and then the other one like right there.
Oh, good, because I thought it looked pretty bad. But I'm not done. Okay. So, 2
Yeah, here, I'll even show you, like with mine,
Mhm.
there's like this big empty space, so I might even put like a smaller flower like right here, and now make it look a little more full. And see, if you don't like the corsage, you might like the boutonniere more. I know for myself, I used to trade off with people and be like, okay, you make the boutonnieres, I'll make the corsages, because I didn't like making the boutonnieres. Boutonnieres take a lot of wiring,
Oh.
and that's what, like, I always thought that was so putsy, whereas like with the corsage, I would always make my bows the day before, and then I would just like, I can whip it out really fast. So there was like one day I did like about 200 orders.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
yeah.
Not at this rate.
Yep. So.
Wow. So are we doing, so I have 6 little ones and then the center. Is that where we're at?
Yes. So this is kind of how it should look like. So you
Oh,
can do
yeah.
like, if there's like any open spaces, you
Uh-huh,
can
like
always
down
add.
here and here?
Yeah, or like
Okay.
even with this one, I would
Yeah.
even just maybe put like a small one.
Oh,
That way you
right.
have some dimension.
Okay.
Dimension.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll do it like the night before, and I'll tell you what, there's different ways that you can keep it really nice. So you can either spray water on it, like from a distance, or there's this spray called Crowning Glory. And you really have to be careful about how you squirt that, but if you do like 2 times, put it in the cooler, it'll be okay.
Huh.
Yeah, for about 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say, even with the body heat of the wrist, but that's before you could give it to the
Yeah,
person.
yeah. See, once you have it on your arm, then it's not in the cooler anymore. It can be
Yeah.
kind of hot, like the elements
Definitely.
outside can hurt it. Then if you want, you can add a couple more ivy pieces, ivy plant leaves. You can add that like up here. You can take, if you can't get it down, you can always take a scissors and go down. I always think that looks kind of pretty.
Now, are you keeping any stem? Or are you gluing up real
Yeah,
close?
so like if you want it to be a little bit taller, you can keep a little bit of a stem. You do a shake test, that means that, like, because a lot of times the kids will be dancing and moving their arms around, so you don't want it to fall apart. All right. Do you guys do a shake test?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Stay on. And take a couple sprigs off and do kind of like what we were doing before. If you feel like your corsage is really small, you can make it a little bit taller on the filler. There's a couple different fillers I like to use. Baby's Breath is definitely one of the cheaper fillers. But I like to use like wax flower. That's very pretty. Otherwise, I don't know if you've ever heard of Boutonnière, but Boutonnière has like a really nice smell to it. And it's a pink flower, and that's very pretty too. So you guys can actually start just gluing it in.
Just putting them in between the roses.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Like when you make it, sometimes like when I make it even too, like it'll look totally different from one that I made before. But filler is definitely one of those crutches that it's like you can make it look just as good if you place your filler in a certain way.
I'm trying to get it to stick to the flower and not to my fingers.
Yeah, I know. I remember those days too. I would have like all this yellow glue over my hands, and there'd be people that'd be like, "What's on your hand? Are you okay?" You also have stained green hands from working with all the different greenery and different plants. You can kind of trim your baby's breath too on the top. That won't kill it at all. If it feels like it's very wild, you can make it a little rounder.
I know. Just doing it a little longer than we have, right?
Yeah, so if you want, you can clip this down a little bit, but I think that looks nice. I think with the ribbon, I think it's just maybe like a smaller ribbon that doesn't show as much. Is actually put like a taller, well, I would put like a taller piece right here and maybe one really low one right there.
Okay. I think so too.
I would do something like that, where it kind of goes up your arm like that. So I don't know if you want to try that, but if you have like a smaller piece like you had like this one, I would maybe cut that and put that like right up here. Be cascading down that way. And if you have something like that bigger like that, it's always a nice thing to do because to have it done that way instead of sticking out of the flowers, because then it looks like a peacock's feather or something.
So like this,
Yep.
right?
I don't know if they even come a little smaller.
Yeah,
but
they do.
They
I
do
can get
'cause
smaller ones.
If you can get like the really tiny ones and
Yeah.
just stick that in there, that would be really cute too.
Yeah, and-
All right, so let's move on to our boutonniere. So I'm just going to show you on our board here. This is my drawing of a rose. It's not beautiful, but this is like the neck. So if you look at your rose, you'll notice that there's like a little bit part like that's a little bit bigger like that. You want your wire to go right in the middle of that. So you pierce it in the middle. And guide it all the way through. So it comes out the other side.
So you push this through so it's kind of like half, you know.
Yeah, half of the wire through. Like I didn't even do a full half, but it should look like that. And then you fold it down. And then when you're ready to tape, I always hold it with my pinky here, like this, the roll. And then I will start as close as I can to the neck there. And if like the petals here, if you have some that curl down like that, you can either move them up or you can cut them off. I decided to cut mine off. You twist and you pull down. You pull the tape down. You go like this. Pull it down.
Are we folding both sides of the wire down?
Yes.
So we're kind of making a fake stem.
Yep.
How long ago did you say?
So you're going, yeah, you can just cut off like a piece like that. And then you want to, when you wrap it on your rose, you want to pull down and start spinning it with your pointer finger like that. That way it comes really tight to this, to the wire. So it should look like this. Cut your wire down to like right here. So you want to think about like how big a stem on a boutonniere would be. So you don't want a stem to be super long and you don't want the stem to be super short, right? So just like a nice size.
But do you use these to cut the wire?
You can cut those. Usually it's best to use like a wires cutters, but I have used clippers before. Yeah. Yep, that's a good size, but it's always good. You can use like the, to use less tape, you always want to pull it down
Okay.
and go like that. See how fast that does that?
Yeah, okay.
There you go. And then you can also cut your wire down a little bit more too.
Should I cut it like right there?
Sure.
Because that's where it went to single.
Yep. All right, and then next, once you guys are done with that, I'm going to have you cut your wire in half and then pick out one larger ivy stem. You can leave the stem on there, don't cut it too short. And then you can pick out like a medium to smaller size leaf too, or even a little smaller, and then one this big.
And did we want much stem on this leaf?
You can have stem on the leaf, yep. In fact, it's almost better because then you can have something to hold on to with the wire.
Now, did you say we go up and over?
So what I always do is I make a U, like this. You pinch this pretty close, and then you can make this level. And then I'll show you. So like you can just insert it carefully. and guide it in. Yeah, you just want to be careful because you can break the leaf pretty easily. It should be like that. Okay, and then once you got that done, you can start taping it again. So if you want, you can either use a roll or cut off a little piece from the roll. So I might just do that, just cut off a little piece. And then carefully tape the wired leaf.
Are you leaving a little bit of an arc of the wire above the leaf?
Yeah, you don't want to have it on here, but like more so below here. And if there's a little bit of the wire below it, that's okay. So you can keep working, that's okay. All right, and then when you have it wired, you can go ahead and take the bigger leaf. And usually what I like to do is have a little bit of a taller greenery. So if you have like myrtle or something, that looks a lot better because then it sticks above the rose. But since we only have ivy, I'm just going to put it slightly behind the rose. It peeks out a little bit. And then you kind of get that height out of that.
Is that where I
Tape it
can use
on.
my peacock feather for
You
height?
can definitely use your peacock feather right there.
Do I want to attach a wire to it? Probably, right? I think I can.
You don't have to. Yeah, I don't think you have to because there's enough of a stem on there. Because when we move on to the baby's breath, I'm not gonna have you guys wire that either.
But
And
into
then you
the,
tape it. So, oh yeah, okay. So there's also an important part when you're first making this. You're gonna want to have like the rosebud to look like there's a little bit of an opening. If it's closed like that, it's not as pretty when it's up here. So if it has an opening like that, that's always better. And then for the second greenery, you're going to want to bend the wire back a little bit, like that. And then you have that kind of come out like that, so that looks really nice too. For some reason, I don't know why I like it this way, but if it's on the right side, like that, and then you have a smaller one right here. So you can go ahead and tape it right there. You like fold this back like this, just bend it a little bit. So it's coming more out towards you, and then you place it like that.
Okay. And then wrap that.
Yep. Okay, and then once you get onto your filler, you can add like a little piece right here. You can even do a taller piece back there if you want a little more height. So wherever you think looks best. And I can help you along the way too if you want any thoughts. Just like to have like a little bit right here, a little bit back here, and a little bit in the negative space there. If you use other fillers, it will look a little bit tighter. If you have something that's more round, like I said, with like wax flower or even seeded eucalyptus makes a really cool filler. That's way easier to work with than with baby's breath. I would say the trickiest flower to have in a boutonniere is an orchid, a mini orchid especially, because with an orchid there's a mouth to an orchid, so you have to place the wire right here down through these two petals and down, and it's really easy to break it. But yeah, I would say that's the hardest flower to put in a boutonniere.
Now on the enhancing flowers, you still have to tape down for each bunch, or can you put them all together?
Nope, you still have to tape down. You're like, I liked your last class better. Yeah, I don't think, you don't always have to have a taller piece, but you can go like a little lower, and that would look nice too, like that.
Okay.
So now we're going to do ribbon loops. So with some of the excess ribbon that you have on the table, just cut about like this much. And all you do, and you don't even have to twist with this one, you just have to make two, oh, see now I've got glue in my hands. 2 loops. See now that one is a little bit taller. Two loops like that, and then you take a small piece of wire, you tightly wrap it around the ribbon. You can cut off some of that extra ribbon, and then you tape it again, and then you tape it like right here, so you have a little something if you want to add ribbon. So then it looks like this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Use your glue. Oh, no. Can I?
Yeah.
So then it looks something like this.
Okay.
You just pinch it, you do one loop like that, then you do another loop like that.
Okay.
And then you put the wire right
Okay,
there.
got it.
Do you twist, you give the wire one twist? Or?
One twist.
Okay.
Yep. So this is how you ribbon wrap. Take a little bit of glue
Kind of leave that
and you
coat and
crimp it like this and tightly wrap it around the stem. So now that creates kind of a little bit of a pocket. Okay, and then all you gotta do is, here we'll go a little bit below this. And all you gotta do is just cut this part, loop it back a little bit, and then you'll put your pin on the side and up. And that will hold, like you'll push it all the way in, and that will hold the ribbon from falling apart. So again, as you can see here, there's a little bit of a gap. So sometimes I'll just redo it real quick. All right. Go up tightly, like that. Now we're toward the back of the rose. And so you just loop it. And then stick a pin up the rose, and then you could just cut it. So that's how it works. All right. So that's how you make a boutonniere. Thank you for coming to my class.